name it, I've been through it.
Well, what age did that start?
I knew about sex in pre-K.
How? What happened? Wow. So you had just like kind of put your information on Zillow, and then somebody reached out to you, and it was a scammer.
Yeah.
Oh wee.
But
how did they sound? Did they like have an accent? Or?
Yeah. I was finally physically penetrated. I was 15. I was sold for a rock to a crackhead. This is after I ran away.
What? You were sold for a rock?
Yeah, I was staying. All right, so when I ran away, I stayed with this girl.
What's up, YouTube? Marcus the Interviewer here. Welcome to my new channel, Atlanta Street Dating, where I'll be picking out 2 random strangers and convincing them to go on a 5-minute speed date right here in public on the streets of Atlanta. Join me as we make Atlanta date again. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So we got a young lady with us today. How you doing today, miss?
Hi.
All right, all right.
I'm great.
So are you homeless?
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
39. Well,
30.
Next month I'll be 30.
Yeah, next month. You look great for 39.
Thank you.
I'm 40 and everybody tells me I look 50. All right, so 39. So how long have you been homeless?
3 months now.
3 months? So what was it that happened 3 months ago that caused you to become homeless?
I made the wrong decision on who I was dealing with and put myself in a box.
Okay, so I get that, but specifically, what was it that happened? Like what happened? One night you had a roof over your head, 24 hours later you didn't. What happened?
I was scammed into a house, and the marshals finally came to put us out.
So you had got, I guess, paid like a deposit and all like that. You moved into the house?
Yep, lived in there, and then a week after being in, found out that it was a scam, but because I put all my money into it, and I was partnered up and had dogs, a situation we were supposed to stack together, but...
And this was a guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how long had y'all been together?
2 years throughout this whole situation.
And so who was it that found the house?
Actually, the people from the house found us. I was looking on Zillow, and I put in the information, but then someone contacted me and said that house was no longer available, but they had another one, and it was cheaper. So somebody was able to get into the Zillow system and find out when you were putting in for houses, and that's what made it seem real.
Wow. So you had just like kind of put your information on Zillow, and then somebody reached out to you, and it was a scammer.
Yeah.
Oh wee.
But
how did they sound? Did they like have an accent?
African, yeah.
Oh God. I was hoping that wasn't the case.
When I talked to the cops, they said, "Hell, that's the ones to get you." And I was like, "Shit!" So that's the thing out here. Okay, now I know.
Man, it is such a huge scam. Such a huge scam. Okay. So that happened. All right. So after that happened, did you and your guy break up or what?
No. It was a on and off, very, very toxic situation. But I learned a lot of
toxic. How? Give me an example
fights,
of the toxic.
He had
physical
drug
fights?
issues. Yes.
Okay.
He had drug issues.
What drugs was he doing?
He was on coke. And he drank badly.
Well, I get that, but I'm gonna ask, right? Because birds of a feather flock together, right?
Oh no, I don't do coke. I never did coke a day in my life.
Okay, so that was him that was doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I drank and I had anger issues.
Okay, I get it.
It was on both parts, but I thought it was more like I saw a lot of my past selves in him and found pretty much the comfortability of a lifestyle and a mindset you're used to.
Right.
I fell into, well, if I can get here, he can get here, and we can help each other. And I've been there before, so I knew how to get. But then instead, what I did instead of growing was falling behind.
Yeah. You rise and fall to the level of people you keep around you, and so. Yeah, you're gonna fall if you keep someone that's lower around you.
Because the minute we split, the losing of the house, I finally got to put me into effect, and we've been with the roof over our head every day since. But in the motel, I found the job immediately after not working for 14 years. I found the job immediately.
You didn't work for 14 years?
Yeah, because
so we're gonna tap into that. We're gonna tap into that. Okay, so real quick. So we saw your child over there. Is that your only kid?
No, I have a 19-year-old daughter in Philly.
Okay, 19-year-old in Philly.
She's a medical interpreter.
Okay, and then your 10-year-old here. Same dad or different dads? Different dads. Okay. And the guy that you're talking about, that's not the dad of him, right? Okay. As far as the dad goes, is he like active and present in his
No.
life? No. Is there like a stated reason for that, or?
Some people are just born wrong. And I don't care who you are to a person. If you're bad for them, you're bad for them. So,
well, I mean,
I got full custody. The courts granted it because it just didn't make any sense. The man didn't make sense. He wanted custody of my child, but didn't want to provide for my child. It was more like what you hear the women do more. He wanted to try to use my son to keep at me. We never even dated. It was
how'd y'all end up having a kid if y'all didn't date?
I pulled the what you call it. He hit me up and I was like, hey, I got some weed, some liquor, you wanna hang out? I pulled the,
it was just like a booty call?
Yeah, I flipped the fuck out of the script.
Okay. All right. Okay, have you ever been married?
No.
No? Okay. So let's just start from the beginning. So where you from?
New York. I was born in Jamaica, Queens,
Hey,
but I'm a
man,
system baby. So
you say you was a what baby?
System baby.
System
so
baby?
around.
Okay. So, man, shout out that Jamaica, Queens, man. Shout out that New York. I just got back from New York a couple weeks ago. So I was just up there, but I could definitely hear the accent. All right, and so growing up in New York.
Pretty much raised me though.
Okay. Well, so from what age?
15.
15. Okay,
Yeah,
so I get it. But all right, so bottom line is, growing up in the East Coast, did you have both mom and dad in the household?
No.
Okay,
System baby.
so you grew up in the system. Did you ever meet your biological parents?
Yes, when I was 24, I set up a MySpace page, and the very first message was my older sister. And it was my first time contacting her, hearing from any of them her definitely since I was probably like 4. But the very next day I was able to talk to my mom, and I haven't spoken to her since I was 8. And then 3 months later I moved to Westchester where they were to reunite with them. But
yeah, right, I was born in Mount Vernon.
Oh shit, I lived in Mount Vernon for a minute. Last place I lived was 530 East 3rd Street. Yep. That's funny.
My grandma, my grandma's house on Union Ave.
Oh shit, I was close to that.
All right. Okay.
Small worlds and all that.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. So growing up, would you say that you had a fairly normal childhood?
Oh hell no. I received SSI now because of my childhood.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why you haven't worked in 14 years.
Yes.
Okay, so what was
I wasn't on SSI that long.
What was the SSI for?
The diagnosis changed because I grew and healed. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder is the constant.
Okay, so I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask, right? I mean, did any type of sexual assault or anything like that ever happen when you was younger?
You name it, I've been through it.
Well, what age did that start?
I knew about sex in pre-K.
How? What happened?
How can I put this? That's when you have a light inside you, people are attracted in all sorts of ways, and they do fuckery, try to snuff it out. So sexual molestation.
So here's the thing, right? The reason why I asked what happened is so that people can reverse engineer how these things happen. Right, so if they hear
hurt people.
Well, right. So you said that it started, I guess, around pre-K, around 4 or so years old.
Foster parents, yeah.
And so, what was it that happened? Like, was it an uncle that touched you? Was it?
None of them were family, so. No
right.
uncles.
Well, right. So okay. So was this people that?
Molestations up until.
Was it people that lived in the house with you? I guess is what I'm trying to get to. Okay.
Yeah, and then depending on the places, because a lot of teachers and doctors would just get their feels on you throughout life and stuff, but. Mainly in the house. What time there was an uncle, but then when you tell that things are happening, because every foster home we were in, I snitched. I told eventually because I was getting the brunt of it. When you tell, then they have you go and undergo physical checks and all of that, which just makes it worse, especially when those people are now touching on you in weird ways, and it's like. It's a vicious cycle of trauma building, but it was uncles, foster parents, like one of the foster dads. Apparently I blocked out a lot of it, but he used to lock us in the closet. But it was more, I knew way too much about.
So what did the foster dad, like, what age, for instance? Like, what age did that occur?
Well, that metal belt, that was 6, definitely around 4 or 6.
So these was like really young ages.
Yeah, but then it continued,
Like,
You say it continued up to like what age?
All right. Last time I was, due to the system and not my bad choices, I was aged 15. When I was in my placements, it kind of became a thing because I became more promiscuous than anything. And my, one of my things was, could I get a staff member to sleep with me? Because
Hold on real quick. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I became really promiscuous at one point and felt that my worth was
At what
tied
age
into-
would you say that happened?
Throughout my life, if a guy, like let's say I got 100 on my test, this actually happened. I'm really excited about it, right? Wanna, hey, I did good. And then a guy tells me I'm pretty. That would have overshadowed my personal accomplishment.
Right, and I guess
I
here's
associated sex with my worth.
Right, and so I have daughters, right? They're 12 and 14 years old. So I'm curious, what age would the promiscuousness and all that stuff, what age would you say that started?
Oh no, that started young. I was in pre-K, sitting there showing off my nana and things.
What?
Like, yeah. Oh no, it started young. I wasn't sexually active purposely until after I was finally physically penetrated. I was 15. I was sold for a rock to a crackhead. This is after I ran away.
What?
from
You
my
were sold
adoptive-
for a rock?
Yeah, I was staying. All right, so when I ran away, I stayed with this girl, hid with her, but she got a family and everything, so they tried to hide me in there. Then she helped me get to her cousin, who then helped me get to her uncle, who let me stay in his trailer. And then through there, I met a female crackhead who was like, oh, well, she could stay in our basement. She'll have the whole place to herself. And, I'm 15, and first time out in the streets or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that sounds great. And so I go over there, but it was only so that she can bring in her fellow friends, get paid to sell me out.
And how long was that happening for?
That didn't happen for long because I moved out of there because then they sold me back to Nick.
Well, what I'm saying, how long did it happen? How long was you there for?
It only happened that once with him.
Okay. And did you like run away or like?
Yeah, pretty much. But,
Did you say they sold you back to?
Well, yeah, because I went back to the uncle, and then after he found out that my virginity was no longer, then he sold me to a pimp. Then.
How long was you with the pimp for?
I wasn't with the pimp long. Like when I say I was divinely protected, like I mean protected. Apparently I talked too much for him. So he wanted to have me as just a phone girl where I would answer the phones. They had like a Rolodex and it was like boob size, nationality, what they're willing to do, all of that stuff. And the phone would ring and a guy would call and tell me what he wanted. I would look through the Rolodex, find the call, like somebody who's into that, call them and then mute my side of the call because I would connect their call, mute my side of the call so that they could interact and make up money, like get their deal going,
Right.
but I could see and make sure that she wasn't trying to pull no other
BS,
stuff on the
right.
other end. But
So
then,
that's what
Yeah.
that's what they was doing?
yeah, it was freaking, the calls that came through, like, I remember this one guy, like, the minute he got on the phone, it was like, I want a 10-inch cock. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm fucking
Wait,
15 years old. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is this? Yo, he just said that. And it was like, he dead serious. It was a whole dude. It was opened up my mind to a lot.
So okay.
Before that, it was real sex on HBO. You know what I mean? Like,
So wow. So all this was going on in your formidable years and through up to teenage years. Let me ask, what was the original purpose that you ran away? Because you said you ran away and
my adopted mom was a very hurt person. So the abuse, it's like she hated me for no reason. But I now know through growth that not to take that personally. That was all her shit.
hurt people.
Yeah, exactly. So she was very abusive to me. Like every Halloween she wanted me to be a boy. Like I learned how to fix things, thank goodness. But anything that was broken, figure out how to fix it or I'm getting fucked up type shit. Like
Why did she want you to be a boy? Why did she want you to be a boy for Halloween?
She didn't want me to feel pretty. Period. Like when you grow up, you realize, you know what I mean? It's not like somebody finally opened up their mouth and admitted nothing. You know what I mean? Last time I seen her, I was about 16. I was in a group home. I done grew up. I done smelt myself. I was on the streets for 3 months. Came back a little fighter. So she's in there because they kept, even though I told them what was going on in her house and everything.
They put you back
The system, no, they kept trying to put us back together. So it was like
Okay.
family mediation type thing, which is stupid because she was my adopted mom. It was like better you there than in the system.
Right.
It's still the system, you know what I'm saying? So she comes over, she's in there, and she's talking. And next thing you know, I don't remember how the conversation went. All I remember is I'm screaming to her now, "Hit me now, bitch! Hit me now, bitch!" Like, and then see the group home, they knew me now. They knew the new me. So how the house was set up, there was steps on one side, steps on the other. So they came, and they came to pull my ass out because they knew in 2 seconds Tess was about to haul ass on this thing. And it's a very good thing, again, protected. Because if I would have touched that woman, that'd have been the end of it. All right, I gotta.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just, we're gonna wrap it up. So I see that pretty much at the front. All right. Okay, so real quick. So wow, that sounds like a lot during childhood. But
throughout
okay.
my life, but
so
had to learn some lessons.
Okay. So what are we doing at this point to try to get ourselves out of this position of homelessness?
Well, I'm already on the waiting list. I'm 87 on the housing authority list and 106 on another one. I just filled out for the motels to go.
All right, you go ahead. We'll All right, so real quick, since we got just a few
And then
minutes.
I'm here because I heard that they do housing, and I qualify because I'm on SSI, and I've been in a motel for longer than 30 days. I homeschool as well. So I was told last time I was here that I qualified for a housing program. So just trying
trying all angles,
Don't
basically.
put my eggs in one basket.
Yeah. Gotta try everything, see what sticks.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so as far as, so we understand what kind of your formative and teenage years was like. What was your like 20s and stuff? Like, it sounds like you was kind of.
I don't remember most of my 20s. The anger and the self-hatred, loathing was deep. I drank most of my 20s to shit.
So I'm gonna ask. I mean, did you raise your daughter? Your
No.
19? Okay, who raised her?
When she was 3, I effed up my sister, and she wound up calling the people on me, saying that I was gonna kill myself and my baby, which was bullshit. But she's been setting me up since we were little. Again, hurt people. She recently done it again. She did it a lot. This is the only sister I was raised with. So most of the homes, like the house I ran away from, we were adopted together.
Okay.
And people's internal stuff.
Was she older or younger than you?
Younger.
Younger, how many years?
4.
4 years
7,
younger?
11, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I mean, why didn't you end up raising your daughter? Because you were saying it, but you went on a tangent about your sister.
We had a fight. She called the people. They came in, took my daughter. I asked the lady next door because she was a retired school teacher, even though she didn't like me. But I'd rather her with her than my sister, who the police gave her to. And then how it worked out. I was on my way getting my daughter back. I found the house, put the money into it, put the work into it, physical work into it, and had a social workers and everything. We were about to get her back, but then it turns out that the house was the person who owned the house, right? I was renting from. Apparently, I wasn't supposed to be renting it in that condition where it was a fixer-upper.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. So renting the house, turns out he wasn't paying property taxes. The house got sold out from him. And then at the time I had a sugar daddy who wanted me to live with him so he wouldn't help me get the house back like he said he would. And the system, instead of giving me my daughter back, they said the year was up. Fuck it. And they felt that a retired school teacher was a better fit for my daughter than I was. So
well, I mean, would you agree
rights.
though? Wouldn't you agree? Like, you sounds like at that point you had a sugar baby.
Oh, no.
You was a sugar baby. You this, you that.
No. Definitely, I definitely agree. As far as if you think about just now, see, look, my living situation may not have been the best, and my mindset wasn't the best. But one thing I am is for my children, right? So now that the fact that my daughter thinks she's a it, and she's been on medications that now has physical problems.
You say you think she's a it?
Yeah, those the gender thing.
Oh, she's trans.
No, but don't call her a girl. That stuff.
Okay, so she's a they.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
does she present masculine?
Both. She dresses both. But I haven't spoken to her in a while. Facebook was taken down. But the woman, it's one thing. All right. I'm team for whoever I care for. And my decisions will always be based on bettering you, growing you, and you being the best you, version of you. My daughter was fine, despite seeing mommy go through the stuff and fighting and things like that, but she wasn't abused or starving or anything like that.
I get it. By
I
doing
feel
that,
in certain aspects, yes, it was better for her because of that. But that's what I was growing to build. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole.
well, like for instance, I want to ask, because I did say I'll tap in back in. What was the 14-year no work gap about?
Well, mainly, I got SSI. Like I wanted to, when I moved back from Philly to New York. Out there, they wouldn't let me just get into the shelters and things like that. They said because I qualified for SSI, I had to apply for SSI.
Right.
I fought it because I didn't want to be on SSI. I didn't want to be labeled that. I didn't want to.
Real
be
quick,
stuck
how
in
long
the-
have you been on SSI?
Since, well, right before my son, I got pregnant with my son. So,
Okay, it's about 10 years,
yeah.
about 10, 11 years.
Yes.
Okay.
The 4 years before that was mainly because I lost the job and then been moving around. And
So what was you
because
doing? Like,
what
was like your life like during that time?
I was in housing. I had housing. It was more or less throughout my whole life. I never knew who I was. It was just no direction, but trying to find direction. Like teaching myself different talents and skills, and then trying to maintain my mental, and going to therapy, trying to pretty much figure out who I was, what I was trying to do, and how I felt, because I was full of a lot of resentments, pain, self-loathing, so it was more or less getting me on
I get
track.
it, getting your mental squared
Yeah.
away. All right. Well, listen, Miss, we really appreciate you taking the time answering all of our questions. If anybody out there wanted to reach out, help, or donate, do you have a way they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
I'm okay. The universe got me.
Universe got you, but just in case somebody else wants, just in case the universe sent me so that somebody could see you and they could bless you.
Okay.
What's your Cash App?
Contessa, CONTESSA 85 Cardenas, CARDENAS.
ARNAS.
NAS.
Okay, ARNAS.
CARDENAS.
CARDENAS. Okay. Any IG or Facebook?
Contessa Cardenas. Everything's me.
Okay,
I'm
Contessa
just me.
Cardenas. All right, well, listen, like I say, we really appreciate you. Definitely wish you nothing but the best out here, all right?
Appreciate
Make
it.
sure you have a good one, sweetie.
You too.
All right.